Hello folks, and welcome to a recording I did of Risk of Rain a while back. I'll give you a little bit of background to this recording. I actually wasn't intending to record it. Basically, I just started recording, playing, I should say, Risk of Rain one night, because I woke up around like 11, I got up like 1, and I was looking for something to do. And I could just watch YouTube videos, but I like to watch something while playing something, or doing something else. So I decided, let's give Risk of Rain a go again, because I've been wanting to do a run of the game with all but the last artifact on, because to get the final artifact in the game, you have to do a run of the game with all the other artifacts in use. And for whatever reason, I also wanted to do it on hardcore mode, or the harder difficulty. I don't remember what it's called. And yeah, this is the outcome of it. It says 300 minutes, and I've been playing that from when I 1 or 2 or whenever to sorry man. Sorry, something that's irritating me right now is a weird itch. It was like 9 or 10 a night. I did have to stop every so often, but I was playing for quite a while. And as you see there, the timer isn't continuing. So, who knows exactly how long it was. I don't actually know what I'm going to call this video. I was originally going to call it Risk of Rain finale of 300-minute run or something. That's what I actually have it down as, but sorry, I thought I was back on this. But, I don't know what I'll call it. Also, see those weird little things floating around? They're the missiles I was sending off just a moment ago. They look really weird and low graphics. They look very strange. Like, homing bottles or something. So, to anyone who hasn't played Risk of Rain, this might look a little weird to you. This is the final level, actually, of Risk of Rain. And the enemies following me around here are bosses. One of the artifacts you get, as you can see over in the right hand corner, there's an enemy portrait. The artifact you get decides which enemy will spawn on that level. And I think only once on a normal level have I ever had only bosses spawn. Only once. And even then I'm not entirely sure. When you're playing normally, you'll get a selection of enemies, different types, and on the difficulty, you'll get multiple different types of bosses and that kind of thing. There's also 2 different systems of difficulty. One, when you're starting off your game, there's like easy, medium, and hard. Then, the longer the game goes on, the harder it gets. It eventually will cap out. I don't know when it caps. Yeah, I want to say at least typically you'll be getting around the cap by the time you reach the final level. Well, the second last level. I tend to keep rerunning the game quite a few times to make sure I'm fully equipped. Because when you start off, normally you've only teleported to send you on. But once you reach the second last level, like you're at a temple, you can get a teleporter that will send you back to all the previous levels, so you can run through them again. Though there is first time you go through, you may actually for the 3rd level, for example, you have actually an option of 2 different levels, and I think the same for the 2nd. So you might Well, when you might go to one area the first time around, but you might go the second time ultimately it doesn't matter, except for, you know, certain collectibles or characters you want to unlock or what have you. But yeah, that's detail I wanted to say there. I'm a little tired. I'm after waking up, thankfully. I think I'll be reasonably awake. I've been awake for 7 hours now, but I was fucking exhausted. I was only awake for 5 hours. Very annoying. I'll very likely do a full playthrough of Risk of Rain at some stage. And though I should say when I say full playthrough, I won't exactly be able to, you know, re-unlock all the items and all that. You know, there is limitations to what I can do. As I don't think I can, you know, reset my things. My English is failing me, I apologize. You know, start again. You know, relock all the items and whatnot. When you first get the game, you actually have a quite small, like, limited pool of items. And you have to do certain things, like reach certain points in the game, kill certain enemies with certain abilities enough times, that kind of thing. And you'll eventually unlock new items. To get those artifacts I mentioned earlier, you have to find them in the world by doing different things. And as you can see here, I actually have quite a number of abilities. And what I was actually dawdling around there in that room for was actually for, like, one of the artifacts you get is actually a use item. It replaces, except in that room, it replaces all other use items in the game. For whatever reason, those chests will spawn, actually, now I'm not even sure. Fuck, I should have done this post-commentary sooner when I was playing the game, because I'm after getting kind of rusty again. My knowledge is after fading somewhat, so I'm not actually sure. But basically, the use item will get, that I currently have will give me a random effect every time I press it. It may spawn in a chest. It may unlock all nearby chests. It may spawn a bomb that does its damage is determined by how much gold I have. You know, that kind of thing. It's, which is basically like a, like, you can find an item in the game that does drop a bomb that does the amount of the damage depends on the amount of gold you have. You can find that. You can similarly you can find an item that spawns chests. This one thing is just like a collection of them all. Though its one downside is you don't really have much choice over what you get. You may also notice a fair bit of lag. I don't know why it's so great. You know, it's not like I'm trying to play Crisis 3 here or something. I would have thought my machine could handle it. But I think it's partially due to the sheer amount of power-ups I have, along with everything else. Like, the game was kind of starting to chug a little before I got here. But when I did the last rerun of all the game's levels to make sure I was properly equipped for this, it got really laggy and really slow, which is disappointing. But as you can see, you know, the timer really doesn't keep going, so it's very hard to keep track of exactly how long I've been playing this for. Like I was saying, I may have started at 1, but I was, you know, stopping and starting, you know, to go do something else. So, I don't know exactly how long I've been playing for. But like I was saying as well, I will do a full Let's Play of this at some stage. When? I don't know. Whenever I feel like playing this again. And to clarify what I mean by full is, you know, I'll complete one run of this and you know, like on normal, just a normal run. Then I'll come back and and I'll try and get all the artifacts as well. And then I'll come back and do basically what I did here. You know, on hard mode, all but the final artifact. Oh, as you can see down the bottom, all the symbols on the wall are highlighted. Those are all the symbols of the different artifacts. So anyway, I'll do the you know. My English is failing me, and so is my mind. Yeah, I'll do all but the last artifact, basically redo what I did here, and then I'll move on and, you know, try and complete the game on hard mode with all the artifacts active. And that will take me a while. That's actually a pretty difficult thing to pull off. And I apologize for all the stopping and pausing here. I could edit them out, it's just I figured, at least I did a bit of editing before this. Like, I actually didn't have my audio going at all. For whatever reason, I didn't think I'll need it. I decided to, at least in the editing part here, to leave them in, because I figured, you know what, it may give me something to talk about, give me more time to talk about stuff. I just will have to wait and see. In reality, I say, you know, I don't have enough to talk about. I could probably actually, you know, edit a little bits out and it won't really be not noticeable. Because it's not like I'm talking about Anne here. Though, I will comment on one thing. That giant ass laser there was kind of cool. I've never been able to really get it to work, you know, at the right time. You know, big massive enemies around, giant laser. No. And this is actually my favorite character, the engineer. Because, the engineer has a missile thing. And you don't actually have to be, like, you know, looking the enemy in the eye, or at least, you know, physically looking at the enemy. I can be a little bit away and the enemy will take damage from the missiles. The missiles will seek the enemy out. 1 second. Hey folks, sorry about that. And now I don't know exactly where I left off, so I'm going to be a little off. I just noticed that basically Mom started sending me a few messages there on Facebook. And I just had to, and they were popping up in the right hand corner. So I was just had to make sure I covered one of them. So that's all. This is gonna happen a few more times, so sorry about that. These are actually the segments I was mentioning about talking about the cutting them out and all that. Here's actually an Easter egg I came down here to show you. The units there are actually enemies you encountered during the rest of the game. Like stone statues or something. I don't remember what they're called. I remember the big version's called like a stone colossus or something. Don't know too much about it though. I don't remember it. You actually get journal entries on each of the enemies. When you kill enough of them or whatever, you'll see a book after dropping upon killing an enemy. If you run over to it and collect it, you'll get the journal entry on it. It's a kind of a cool, okay system. It seems almost random when you get it, and like I'd played this quite a lot, and then I came back to do this run, you know, months after the last time I played it. End up getting a new journal entry. I'd always thought, you know, I've probably, you know, already gotten it considering the amount of times I have, you know, basically loops in the game. As in, I'll go from level 1 to 5. I don't remember if there's 1 to the second last level. I'm not sure if there's 1 to 5 levels or 1 to 6 levels. It's, well, if there's 1 to 5, then I went to 4th. If there's 1 to 6, then I went to 5th. And, you know, I kept cycling. And for whatever reason, you know, I didn't get the journal entry. I don't know. But anyway, I really like the engineer because of those missiles. They also can put down turrets, which are useful. Turrets will stay in one place and fire at the enemy. It's a pretty useful building. Pretty handy. There's also mines, which you leave on the ground. And if an enemy gets near, the mines will jump up and explode. It's very useful. The unit I like that comes roughly equal to it in the engineer in my personal taste is Handy, or whatever it's called. It's a robot. It's a character you unlock on this level. It's a like robot janitor or something. It has a similar thing. You remember the missiles I was talking about? When it gets a kill, it'll get a small drone, different to a normal drone you can get here. Like the ones following me around presently. It's because of, remember the use item I mentioned? There's another use item that summons drones for you, that protect you for a short bit of time. They also look like that because of an upgrade I got. Normally they look, they're actually the basic model. They're slightly upgraded here because of an item I got. You can actually get quite a few items in this game. I just have to remember to have another look over each of the points I flagged for messages. As remember a moment ago, I had to stop because one of the messages actually wasn't fully covered. The black bar I put over it disappeared just before the message did, so it wasn't actually helping. I'm actually very tempted in uploading a version of this without my commentary if you just want to listen to the music, because the music isn't half bad. It's pretty nice. So, like I was saying, you can actually get quite a lot of abilities here. Like there's one rusty jetpack. It just increases how high you can jump. Or well, you can get another jetpack thing that actually allows you to, jetpack around for a little bit. There's another item called Small Enigma or something. It reduces the cooldown of use items, which is pretty handy. There's another thing, after you take a hit, you get a heal after a moment. And all these stack as well. See the faint line that's kind of that's following me? Not the white one around me, closer to my character, but the faint one that's distant around me. That's barbed wire, and it gets bigger the more barbed wire power-ups you have, basically. The other thing is like, I don't remember what it's called, but you can stack it as well, and it presumably gets better the more it's stacked. But beyond that, it gets bigger the more enemies you kill. Well, the barbed wire thing is always at that size. I remember reading on the wiki, apparently you can actually get the barbed wire thing to be so big it actually covers the entire level. Or something like that. Or maybe it's just entire screen or something. I don't remember. I think it also gets more powerful the more ones you have. There's another thing you can get. It's like a piggy bank. It gives you a gold every 30 seconds or something. So the more you have, the more gold you get. It's pretty handy. There's another weapon that gives you increased damage the more gold you have. Other stuff where your attacks all become explosive, and you summon a ghost when you kill an enemy. Only certain enemies count, though there is one enemy that will spawn a ghost, but not actually the ghost won't do any damage for whatever reason. It's all very. There's a lot of great items to it. It's all pretty cool. So here I'm just kind of wandering around the level. I think I'm waiting for the doors to open. So I'm here just see there in the tower thing of steel cargo containers. That's where you unlock the handy or whatever it's called. See the second up container? You go there and hit A. The door is currently open. Normally it's closed, but once you hit A, it opens, and the robot there will come out, and you've unlocked a new character. I'm actually just kind of going around and showing Easter eggs. If you look in the top left corner, there's a boss spawner thing. You can dance on it. You can hit A. Nothing happens. At least I think I hit A when I was doing it there and nothing happened. Don't know why it's there. There's nothing else like that on any other level. Well, there's those type of teleporters, but you never go to the left hand corner and find that kind of thing there. And yeah, it seems I went up too far. So I jumped back to the base where I spawned in. In this game, you can't die via falling off the map or going too far up. That would be very harsh. You just go, maybe lose a little bit of health, if that, and you just go back to the spawn point. That's it. It's quite nice in that way. Whew. Tired. And I'm only halfway done this, because I decided to drag this out. Though when I was recording it, I do remember chugging so much more than it is here. It was much worse. It was like this constantly. Or, I shouldn't say like this, because I think my audio isn't perfectly syncing up with the video. But currently I'm going through like a small corridor with a ton of jellyfish like coming towards me. And while I'm getting past them easy enough and doing doing little bits of damage to them, the game is chugging like hell. The way I remember it was like practically constantly like that, rather than only being like that in certain points. But like I said, it's been a while since I recorded this. So, yeah. My memory's probably just off. You may see those boxes there on the ground. They're from another artifact. It's well, the artifact allows you basically to decide what treasure you get. Normally, it's random. Okay, I'll have to check that point as well. Actually, 1 second. Okay, focusing back. Sorry, I thought another message had popped up in the right hand corner and I hadn't covered it with a black box around. But anyway, the reason I'm only getting some of those boxes is I'm actually pretty fully upgraded. I could get more upgrades and whatnot, but I don't really need them. All the enemies I'm dodging around here are bosses. Like full-fledged bosses. If I wasn't on this mode, they'll be dropping their own items and everything. I have no idea why I keep pausing. The one disappointing thing about these runs is that since you won't encounter certain bosses, or at least are very unlikely to, you won't get certain upgrades, certain abilities. Like there's one boss, Imp Overlord, you get an Imp Overlord's tentacle. By holding onto the tentacle, randomly imps will spawn to defend you. And the more tentacles you have, you know, the better the spawn rate and maybe even the power of the imps. Also, you may see some weird blue things, like circling me. Those are like icicles. Basically, the more kills you get, the more icicles you get. Around, kind of similar to the, you know, the weird whitish line that's going around me. Not the faint one, but the other one, how it, you know, increases in size by the amount of kills you get. You get more icicles and therefore do more damage in a very small radius, the more enemies you kill. Follows a similar principle is what I'm getting at. So anyway, these enemies, basically giant jellyfish. They aren't hard at all because you see their like the colored blasts going at you. They don't actually do any damage if you just move past them. Only when they're done moving, which is like basically say you're standing at a point, the jellyfish will target there and fire a blast. Once the blast reaches there, they'll explode. But as long as you keep moving, you'll be fine. I could keep going down that ladder there, and as you can see, I'm staying reasonably well ahead of the blasts. Maybe they would have eventually caught up with me, but I don't know. Honestly, I'm kind of skeptical of them actually doing so. And as you see there, I use the use item to like open all, oh, opening some nearby chests and setting off saliva missiles. Again, another power up. Bundle of fireworks, I believe it's called. It's useful for a bit of extra damage. I'm sure if you get it high enough level, it gets pretty good. What I'm doing down here is I was hoping to get another key card. As I'll be honest, I don't need to kill these enemies. They despawn or piss off or whatever the moment I go to engage the boss. I was hoping to get a key card so I could unlock all the doors in this place. Like there's, remember where I started out at the start of this episode. You have to unlock there with a key card, and there's 3 other areas that you also have to unlock. By getting into all of them, or at least most of these areas, you will get a bit of equipment for the final boss fight, or maybe just extra equipment or loot or what have you, which could be useful. In the armory case, the room I started off in, you get both. You get a cannon for the final boss fight, and some bits of loot. In fact, chests are pretty much gotten rid of when you have all the artifacts on. I don't remember which artifact does it, but they get rid of chests. So yeah, like that's the only room that will actually give you chests anymore, and it's the only way I've found of actually getting use items in this. Though I don't know why I would give up the randomized use item. While it does have the flaws of it being randomized, it's still pretty damn useful. 1 second, folks. Sadly, I ended up I tried to start a video a moment ago, and I ended up double clicking, so it paused the game, but it went like a moment, you know. Video continued like a second on, but you know, it's only a second on. It's not that big of a deal. Also, like one very nice thing is when the enemies die, they drop XP or something like that. It certainly follows the same principle, as in you see like the bar under the health there, it goes up, and when it reaches the other end of this bar, you gain more health. You don't gain anything else, only extra health. But that's pretty nice. Ooh, see the item over on the right? It has the red border. That's that heals you during the boss fight. It's kind of handy, but you have to run over and hit A. Though if you bundle fireworks, if memory serves, that means it'll actually send, you know, fireworks will, you know, come from it. I'm not entirely sure though. I honestly don't remember. I don't remember what I was saying a moment ago, which is irritating me. So, you know, I have to say I really like this game, and I really recommend giving it a try if you think that this kind of thing will be your cup of tea. Like if you're a fan of roguelike games, I'm not sure which it falls under. While it is game over if your character dies and you have to, you know, start again and all that, you do make a bit of progress. As in, you unlock new abilities, you unlock new characters, and you can, even if you get the artifacts, you can even unlock new, you know, challenges. Like, you know, only elite versions of enemies spawning and that kind of thing. Which is one of the achievements. Which is one of the artifacts. Another reduces you to 10% of health. But you do increase damage. But still makes you so weak that like when you're starting off in the way I did it here, you end up so weak you can be one shot. Practically from this, you know, from the get-go. And also look at how much health I have. Without like, I have like 11,900 something current, while my max is, you know, 9,000. That's because I have a certain item that gives me like, a shield that increases my stuff by a little extra bit. Imagine how much health or whatever I would have if it wasn't for that artifact. Though I think my health may have capped out in 9,999. I just don't remember. Like I was saying, so after getting a little hazy because I haven't played in ages. Also, I think I killed this enemy so quickly, they don't actually get to say all their audio, if memory serves. It's just like, you monster, what are you? And they say that at 2 different points, or they'll say like, first bit at one point, and the other bit at another point. I don't remember much about it though. Also, even though the enemies kind of despawn or what have you, their blasts are still flying at me. Thankfully, their attacks are, pretty impotent. Not exactly doing much. They're attacking the place where I was, 5 years ago. Not exactly that trend. But like I was saying earlier, you can actually move right past their blast and not take any damage, as long as you're not where the end of their destination is. Also, the reason there's like an X appearing on the boss there is because I have like a certain item called a hit list or something, and it marks random enemies. And when I kill the enemy, I get an increase of some sort. You may notice above on the bottom of the screen of there's level 28, and then a few symbols and cooldowns. Like one presently where I am watching the video is like one's locked off. Like there's an X with a lock on it. Above those smaller symbols is and below stay alive. A little bit of writing there if you couldn't actually make it out. Are like some lines that have like another line going through it. Each of those lines is one of the enemies I've killed, and when I kill a certain amount of them, however many I killed there, I can't get any more increases to attack speed or something. I'll be honest, I actually don't remember what it increases, the hit list thing, but it has some degree of a benefit. I just don't know what. Also, the item that got put down there in the 4 is a torch. It scares enemies away and also does a degree of damage to them. Not exactly the most useful place for it, in 4. Anyway, Providence Bulwark of the Weak is nearly dead. Also, interesting to note, isn't if memory serves, isn't Providence or Provident? No, it's Providence. Isn't that like another name for God? Or I'm not sure. I'll be honest, I don't remember if it's like God is in capital G or lowercase g as in deities. I think it's capital G. And so, Christian God. So, well, this certainly takes on a whole different light. They probably just called it that because it's a cool name, nothing else. Kind of like, wasn't there some Cartoon Network thing where like some agency in it's called Providence? Provident or something. I'll be honest, Generator Rex, that's it. I just remember seeing little bits here and there of it. So yeah, normally this is a much more difficult fight, but I'm just like so far upgraded. Ooh, finally I actually got to use that laser thing. I forgot I actually got to do it there. I'm just so far upgraded, the enemies don't stand a chance against me. I'm just really powerful, absurdly so. Oh, Providence actually does get a line there. Die. He just stays there with his invincibility frames going. Alright, hey, you can stop showing off. Random bright lights, okay. And summons in 2 helpers. These are like I think his own personal variation on another enemy you find elsewhere at the temple. I don't think these are like the exact same type. No, yeah, they aren't. These look different. When they're spawning in, they look like the ones from the temple. But these are like his own personal variation of them. And as you may notice, it may be a little hard to see, and again the time issue is a bit of an, the out of syncness of my videos, my commentary with the video is a bit of a pain. But the backup, not the golden worms, but the smaller mechs that he spawns in, you may notice that they're kind of after going kind of ghostly. Now that I killed them, that's like the ability I told you about, where you kill an enemy, they turn into a ghost. Whether or not these will prove any way useful remains to be seen. Some enemies don't have an attack. Don't have an attack when they're a ghost, so they can't actually do damage. Others do. I don't know if these are ones that can attack or can't. And what with all the slowdown and the fact that the use item that will randomly freeze time, which I think affects everyone bar me and any of my drones. I'm not sure if it affects the ghosts or not. I might never be able to tell you, at least in this one. And again, I'm starting to wonder, do they even have long range attacks? So, you know. That might be the case here, if you get me. It's starting to look like that, you know, that is the issue. Also, annoyingly, it seems Providence can actually reduce all damage for a short period, all damage it takes to like 1 hit point. But I just do so many attacks, it doesn't even matter. Like, I just send off with like 5 missiles, and out come 5 mortars, due to the fact that I got the mortar upgrade. You have a chance of sending out mortars. I also, when I hit an enemy, have a chance of having a sticky bomb attached to them. I also have a chance of missiles coming off and hitting them. And when the enemy's low enough on health, I have a chance of just straight up killing them. And when they die, spirit missiles will come out and seek down other enemies. I also can do dots to them for just damaging them. Like, things stack and stack and stack, and it gets bloody powerful. It's actually pretty badass. Wouldn't mind seeing more to this game, but sadly it's done. Like, they're done upgrading it and all that, updating it and whatnot. They've moved on to another project. What, I don't remember. It seems to be some degree of a stealth game or something, but I just saw a few pictures and looked at a few blog posts, though, with the sole intent of seeing where they're going to continue updating Risk of Rain. But they aren't, sadly. It's a very good game, and I do highly advise picking it up if this genre is for you. If it isn't, then you may want to stay away from it. Just purely because, well, you're probably not going to like it. You know, there's no point in saying like, oh, like, you know, go try, you know, Final Fantasy VII, even if you hate RPGs. You know, it's an RPG. If you hate RPGs, you're not gonna like it. Hell, even if you like them, there's a fair chance you won't. But you know, you see my point. Oh, and there's the new artifact. This is the only way to get it, by killing the boss with all the others. Artifact of Origin. What that one does is that every so often or whatever, a portal will spawn somewhere at the edge of the map, and a ton of imps, along with an elite imp, will spawn. And if the game like pauses, like say if you use one of the time stop abilities at just the right time, like a second imp or something will named big imp will spawn or something like that. Also, there is writing there, but really small and I have difficulty reading it. And so he left, more steel than man, or something to that effect. And also it appears half the ship hasn't loaded in. Also, those enemies weren't there. Come on, it was only jellyfish. It shows kind of the same ending for, like, no matter what, what happens there. It could be nothing but the Scrounger boss, but they'll still show the other miscellaneous enemies. It's not a big deal, I just kind of wanted to poke fun. So there's the credits, and it nicely enough gives you names for each of the enemies. Also, look at all the points I got. The amount of items, over 1,262. Sorry, not over that, exactly that. The amount of enemies I've killed, over 6,000. The time, the time's inaccurate. It kept, like, I spent a lot longer there. Like, go back to the start of this thing. It went up by 3 minutes, or maybe a bit more, but I spent 43 minutes here, but it did not denote 43 minutes on the in-game timer. So I spent much longer there than that. Also, here's a Bighorn Bison entry. The teleporter nearly launched me into a steaming... Oh, yeah, I can zoom in a bit. A steaming dung pile. I could not have anticipated such an enormous beast being its source. More impressive than their rumbling bellows is the Bighorn's charge. Damn it. The rumble... I can't read it. I kind of read it quicker when I was recording it than I did when I was trying to read it to you. Also, as you can see here, there's an item log. Or you will see it in a moment. Again, I don't know how well this will sync up. But you'll, like, find an item and you'll get a bit of order details, where it's meant to go, this kind of thing. And some of it, like, also an estimated delivery. And they all have, all the estimated delivery things have different times on them. Like, I think there was some meant to, I don't remember it, it's been ages. But I keep wanting to think it was like, there's one meant to be delivered to, England in, 1800s. But, that kind of thing. There's big time jumping around kind of malarkey going on. And also you can see the amount of games I've played, mostly with the engineer. The favorite use item, items collected, all the totals. My biggest menace is, like, one of the more basic enemies. Just when you're starting off, they kill you a lot. So I'm now currently on, like, the unlockables page, different channel, now on the characters 1/2 page, so now part 2. And, like, you unlock different things for completing certain achievements, challenges here. Like, if you have 30 items in one playthrough, you unlock the loader. If you get to mission 5 or something, you get something. You get other stuff. Ooh, I am very glad I watched this through, because I didn't realize. I kind of forgot all about, editing me going back to desktop. But anyway, that is the risk of... I don't remember where I was going with the point I was making just a moment ago. Maybe I'll listen to it and put it in a text. But that's Risk of Rain. At least the end of a very end of a very long Let's Play. I was going to say overpowered Let's Play, but I'm not sure that's the right phrasing. I did end up very powerful by the end of it. It was fucking fantastic. So, I sincerely hope you've enjoyed that, folks. And I will play through that properly at some stage. And give you, a full, playthrough of it. No, I shouldn't say full. I don't intend to play every character. I'm probably just going to maybe play once as the first character you have. Then the rest I'll play as the engineer. Well, maybe I won't just play once as the first character. Maybe a few times so I can at least get his skill set down, because he plays very differently to the engineer. The engineer has no like dodge abilities. They have the turrets, they have the mines, they have some bombs they throw out, and the missiles. The engineer the soldier or mercenary, whatever they're called, has a dodge roll. Then there's a huntress that dodges around. Her big thing is kiting. There's a miner who's actually a melee character. There's another guy, some one you actually have to defeat in combat to unlock as a character, who spreads who runs around doing melee attacks and spreading this illness thing. I didn't play them much. I've only focused on the on the engineer. The miner I have great difficulty with due to how they play. They do melee attacks, and there's even a bit of charge up on one of them. So it's a very difficult character to play. At least I find so. Maybe if I give him more time and whatnot, I'll get better at them and all that. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, folks, I may, every so often come back to Risk of Rain, play a bit more, do another character, that kind of thing. I'll have to wait and see what happens, though, if you get me. But anyway, folks, I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you again soon. And I may, and I'm just basically humming and hawing. Should I, as well as uploading the one here with commentary, I'm certainly not deleting this commentary, sat here for over 43 minutes talking over, footage I've already done, already dealt with. I'm not deleting this, I'm not doing this again. But I'm also tempted in uploading a video without the commentary, just so you can listen to the music. And, well, I suppose the sound effects to some degree as well. But mainly the music. Because the music, like I said, isn't half bad. So, I kind of like it. It's no gun point, but it's not half bad. I'll talk to you next time, folks. Adios. I really feel there's a point I'm forgetting to make. Like, I don't know what it is. I keep feeling like it's along the lines of, playing Risk of Rain again. Like I said, I plan to do it at some stage, play a few times as the default character, then, get all the artifacts as the engineer. You can keep collecting them even if you've already gotten them once. Do a run on hard mode with all but the origin artifact, then do a run on hard mode with all the artifacts, and keep doing that kind of thing, and do that kind of thing. Then every so often come back and try and master, or at least complete the game with one character on normal. Maybe if I get really adventurous, I can try and, do what I did with the engineer, but for all the characters. We'll just have to wait and see. So, anyway, folks, I'm going to end this here, as I think I've said all I wanted to say, and I'll talk to you soon. Adios.